we did another poll the other day asking you guys whether or not the U.S. men's national team will turn it around ahead of the 2026 World Cup, and we're going to respond and react to those responses that you guys gave us. We got 84 votes so far, which is awesome. We're going to give you guys our opinion as well. But 45% says yes, 55% says no. A very even split.
That's
a very even split. Well, I mean, in comparison to our other poll, which was 60% Mexico as a Kings CONCACAF, this is fairly even. So he had to throw it out. On lock. Okay, so we kind of know what the public thinks. I honestly don't really know what the public thinks. What do you guys think? Will the U.S. men's national team turn it around ahead of their home World Cup in a little over a year and a couple months? Years to change.
Do I want to be biased?
Turn it around.
Do I want to be biased and just hate, or
I mean, turn it around. I'm gonna take it as in like we're gonna be seeing them play maybe close to their best, maybe not their best, but close to their best, and instead of looking like they're gonna be like that, we're gonna see that
they're not gonna go limp. They're just gonna get a little.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So if that's the case, if we're saying like we're seeing some upward trends, we're seeing some good progress, we're seeing some positivity in the team, then I'm gonna say I see it. I honestly do think that this is like if this is like Pochettino's team and what we know he can do, this might be the lowest point they can get or close to it.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, we would hope so. Yeah. So to be honest, it's more like there's nothing but up from here. And, a lot of the criticism I've been seeing is that some of the players aren't just like, their heart's not in it. I've been seeing that. I think Landon Donovan, like I saw a quote about him. He's just like, if your heart's not going to be in it, I don't care how good your club is, like, don't come play for the team. And, he's right. If you're not going to show that passion and play 110% every game, then don't play. So I think Poch is going to find out which players will and which players won't. He just started, like, give him some international team-wise, it is still a fresh start. Give him some time, and I think ideally we're going to see an upward trend soon. This will probably be one of the lower points of his tenure. I think it's only up from here. To be honest, I really do think
an optimistic Diego today.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Delusional, man.
No.
Delusional.
Well, I don't know.
Delusional.
So what's the alternative, Andreas? What is?
Oh, it just gets worse, and it's a beautiful sight. Will they improve? They lose to another Trinidad. Tobago situation, you know what I mean?
That's true. Well, consider the Gold Cup, right? The Gold Cup has, if you're losing to Mexico, Canada, Panama, that's one thing, right? Obviously, arguably the other three of the top four, that's one thing. But they're gonna have to deal with, Jamaica. They're gonna have to deal with Suriname, Trinidad, Tobago, whatever the teams have been qualified for the Gold Cup, and losing to one of those teams. Now, no shade to any of those teams. Losing to one of those teams would be the lowest of lows.
Yeah.
You never know. But no, I don't know. I don't see anything that sparks like hope. I mean, to be fair, in I'll give some benefit of the doubt here. The other international window, Poch first showed up. They actually played some like football, and I was like, oh wow, they're actually moving the ball well, like passing through teams, especially I think it was when they played Canada. No, or am I tripping? Where they just like passed through Canada and then scored. Like a really impressive move. Someone knows what I'm talking about, hopefully, but there was a really impressive move where they like literally just passed through and then scored. It was really nice. Basically soccer, I just described. But no biggie. But no, I think that was a highlight. But ever since then, I don't think we've seen a glimpse of that passing movement or anything really. It's just kind of been lackluster, very predictable, if that. A lot of sideways passing, just not really putting a threat, acting like they're really in control of the game when they're not really doing anything, not pressing the matter. They're kind of just content with doing what they're doing. But yeah, I think it could go up. I can see Diego's point. It could go up, but I also just don't see anything that's suggesting that in the long run, especially when you have players that don't look like they're in it, like willing to fight for anything. They're kind of just there, all right, you can say collecting a paycheck, but like they're really not. But right. It's like it's tough. But also I think there's a lot of expectations on these players to do really well, and I think maybe that's getting to them as well, especially Pulisic. I think he's been given the bad end of the stick in this situation, because I think they're past players, analysts, all this stuff, saying he needs to rise to the occasion, all this stuff. But I think Thierry Henry said it best. He was like, he's just not that type of player to be able to take that notion and push the agenda of the coach and motivate players like that. He just doesn't seem like he's that type of guy. And that's okay. I mean, you can't force players to be something that they're not. And they just got to find someone who's going to be able to, pick everybody up when it's down like that, especially, against Panama. Especially, I felt like they needed just like a confidence booster to be able to push for it. And then I just don't think they had anyone for that. But enough of that. Time for delusional. I know they're going to do bad. It brings me a lot of joy. It brings me a lot of joy to see this tremendous downfall of limpness, where they just can't get it up anymore. So it's great. It's great.
Why does it keep bringing up the flaccidity of the USMNT?
It's because it is. It's kind of like it's like to be fair, it goes limp, then a semi like up, and then it can't get up there.
What is he talking? What does this video turn into?
I'm not turning into anything. I'm just saying, like the performance are either mediocre or shit. It's either up, semi up, or then down. Like there's no in between.
I just don't know why we're associating it with the male genitalia, but if that's how far the USMNT has fallen,
I was just saying. I was just using words that are similar. I wasn't, making any connection or correlation to any. About said genitalia,
Yeah, we'll watch this one back and I'll be the judge of that in post production. One thing that needs to be mentioned is the Gold Cup is their last opportunity to have any bit of forward progress. It is the last official competitive tournament or games before the World Cup. There's no Nations League until between then. It was just gonna be this and friendlies, and the USA at this point. The only way you can say that they're in a better spot ahead of the World Cup than now is if they win the Gold Cup outright, and they do it in a convincing fashion. You lose to Mexico or Canada or Panama or anyone else in the final or the semifinals, yeah, nothing. There's just no redemption anywhere for that. It doesn't matter how good they play. If they can't do it, they can't do it. So they have very minimal opportunity to do such. Now, of course, they're going to have friendlies. They have friendlies. Just like Mexico, scheduled against Turkey and Switzerland, which are fantastic opponents. There's going to be more friendlies later on, I'm sure. I know there's rumors of England, there's rumors of Argentina, these big teams where, honestly, there's just no point. Probably a money grab at this point because they're going to get destroyed. But, not much time to do so. With that being said, I'm going to say, I want to say no. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they're going to be in a better place. There is.
Amen, brother.
I think this past.
Amen.
I'm going to be honest.
Preach it.
The past Nations League demonstrated just how many shortcomings this team has in all sorts of the imagination. A lot of parts of this team has not enough, to say the least. There's no player that everyone can look to and rely upon necessarily, or look to for experience or help. In past days, you had Clint Dempsey, you had Tim Howard. You can consider Landon one of those, as well as many other USA legends that have been on those teams. You had a player in every camp where is going to be there every camp. Is going to try their fucking hardest, and you can go to with problems or with questions or issues or things, both on and off the pitch. I don't see that with this team. I mean, yeah, like Christian Pulisic is like probably the best player in USA, and maybe will go down as the best player in USA men's history. But he's not that player, as was mentioned earlier. He's just not a leader. He's not a leader. As much as you kind of want him to be, he just isn't. He spends too much time on the floor bitching to the ref to be a leader for his team. I mean, it's true. That's all. It pisses me off because I hate when players play like that. But he does that in international games, which okay, so be it. Never gets any calls, so stop doing it. But you look at Weston McKennie, maybe Tyler Adams could be that guy. No one in defense is that guy.
Turner,
obviously,
baby.
the goalkeeper situation. No, dear God, no. Maybe Anthony Robinson could be one of those guys, but him and Tyler Adams are really the only two. Maybe Tim Weah, but even then, I don't see Tim Weah being the kind of leader. But it's just that's a big shortcoming right now. Another thing too is just like heart. You can't grow passion for a team within 2 months, 3 months before the Gold Cup, let alone between, I think, a year. It just doesn't happen like that, especially when you only have the Gold Cup. If you had the Gold Cup, Nations League, qualifiers, whatever else, where it meant something, yeah, you care more. But you're playing friendlies, like up until then, these players don't give a fuck. All they care about is being on the team for the World Cup because it makes their stock go up. Like that's how it seems to me right now. I don't think if it hasn't happened in the past year, what's saying it's going to happen in the next year? Poch is there already. It's not like Poch is just coming in. Poch is there. If he's going to be this big motivator, then why hasn't it happened already? So with that being said, no, I don't think they're going to be in a better spot for the 2026 World Cup. And I think the CONCACAF representation that we're going to be proud of is Canada, is maybe Mexico, whatever other teams
guaranteed,
qualify.
baby.
Well, I think
I believe.
Okay, sure. And honestly, more the 3 other teams whoever qualifies behind them, whether that's Jamaica, Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, whatever. Yeah, they're going to be the ones we look to bring us hope and passion for the North American region of football. USA is just not the team anymore, and I don't think they will be by the time that the World Cup comes around.
Love this side of Elijah.
The most pessimistic.
I love this.
This is the most pessimistic about the future of the USA I've ever been on this channel.
This brings me joy.
Now, probably better than Mexico. I'm just kidding. I just had.
Brother, I was about to say we made her talk about a whole ass video, 40 minutes long. I was like, hypocrite. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not saying they won't. I think they won't. They could be. The USA could be, you know, somehow turn it around by then. I just don't see where the opportunity to do that comes from. I mean, you're not going to do that in the Gold Cup. You know, it's not like you need statement wins there. They're not going to have a statement win before the World Cup because of any, you know, there's nowhere they could get it from. Just don't see it. I just absolutely do not see it. With this cohort of players, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's not nothing's gonna happen like that. Wouldn't be surprised if the, you know, okay, group stage finish, out of the group stage finish is the absolute, I don't even say bare minimum. You asked me a month ago, the bare minimum for the World Cup for the USA was like quarterfinals appearance, if not round of 16.
Delusional thinking that was.
I'm not even. Yeah. See, well, I don't want to say delusional because the outlook looked really good. I mean, Pochettino comes in at the time of when they're still teetering at that number 1 spot in CONCACAF. Poch comes in. We have the best talent-wise. This is the best pool of USMNT players of all time, and the best in CONCACAF individual talent-wise.
Oh yeah.
But that doesn't. Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares? It doesn't matter if you perform well for Milan or Juventus, and if you don't do it, if you can't do it against fucking, you know, Panama, what does it fucking matter? I just don't see it being brought together.
I love this. This brings me joy. I'm glad Elijah admitted defeat.
Well, no, I mean,
you know, it's the first, it's the last stage really of grief, you know, acceptance. So now he's able to move on and maybe lowers expectations and, you know, maybe root for Mexico instead. You know, we're always accepting applications every now and then.
You know, if Jamaica's in the World Cup,
you know, and USA... you know, also Jamaica, it's opportunity for you to grow and you know, support a proper team, you know, proper unity behind it, you know, and and if any other U.S. men's national team, you know, fans want to switch sides, I'd do so now. Obviously, you know, just so you don't get labeled as a bandwagon right before, you know, flying off the marker. But I'm just saying.
I talked for too long to give this man the level of pride all of a sudden that he has. This is not a good video, and I also have the power to edit and you know, or just not release it. So just want to put that one out there.
Oh no.
But of course, in the comments down below, let us know what you thought. Sorry. In the comments down below, let us know what you think about, you know, where the USMNT will be in a year's time. A year is not a long time. A year is not
especially
a long time. We're going to be around there.
International windows, not a long time. That's like what, maybe less than 10 international breaks.
Well, definitely less than that. We have maybe
hold on,
maybe 6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah,
and that's not counting, like, you know, USA also has like their own international breaks. Like CONCACAF a lot of times do that where they do it outside of the FIFA approved window. So where that's when they bring the B and C team players on. So counting that too, I mean,
still not even 10.
Yeah, there's
it.
nothing. There's not much time. Gold Cup in June though. That's gonna be really good. I think we should do streams for that again, just to live stream how disappointed we are in certain teams, and maybe the occasional celebration. Because how often are we able to live stream us being happy about certain?
Even the Mexico win against Jamaica, sad because Edson, you know, he was out of the tournament. Yeah. So I was sad. I honestly think anytime we go to a game where we have yet to watch a game where the team that we want to win wins. And live stream as well. Oh, it's on God now. We are the American away days.
It's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be.
So be it. But we will have a lot more CONCACAF related videos, of course, between the Gold Cup, during the Gold Cup, after the Gold Cup, and during the World Cup, whatever. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to leave a like if you are excited to see this next year of CONCACAF football. Hopefully, we'll see you guys in future videos. Take it easy.
Peace.